Welcome to the banter. I'm Dave. It's Hobbsy. Hobbsy, it's been a good minute.
It's been a while.
A lot has happened since the Christmas edition. I
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
January's been a crazy month for you and I. Uh,
yeah.
let's get back on track. But the good thing about missing uh, the show a little bit is a lot has going on.
Yeah, a lot.
2025, I don't know about you, but with me, or how you feel about 2025, but I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm
Uh, let's see. We have coming to the dawn of a new day of presidency.
yeah,
Uh, let's see. We have, just saw the Super Bowl. Uh,
yeah.
didn't fare well for, the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You know,
No, is
sad to
rough.
say.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, what is your take on what's happened? And what God, there's no more. What did you think of the game?
Oh, we'll go game first, huh? Uh, we got fucking punched in the mouth.
Big time.
Uh, Shell defense, Vic Fangio, step on the throat. I mean, I
Didn't
don't
let
even
the
know
foot
how I
off.
put it. They just that Alex, I think Alex Smith said it best when he said, you have the more talented team. Don't
Mm-hmm.
overthink it and just go out there and be more talented.
Uh-huh.
I think anybody just watched it, anybody that's, a football fan at all, sports fan, I mean, on paper, any way you looked at it, the Eagles were more talented. I can't take that away from them. I think everybody that's Chiefs fan, me, I can probably speak for most everybody. I think that they were riding the fact that, you know, it being a three-peat, the
Yeah.
experience level, and riding them home's magic. But you know, magic's not always magic if everybody else is playing like shit too.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you're not blitzing and you get 6 sacks with on no blitzes, and the only one of the only blitzes you ran, they got a penalty on it, and they were getting that much pressure with a 4-man front. That's a exposure of our offensive line that's supposedly one of the best in the NFL. That is a kind of a showing of the trust factor where Mahomes, as good as he is, and I laugh at the narrative now that all these assholes that 2 years ago were saying he's, the greatest ever already are now saying that he's not even in the talk for being the GOAT and this and that.
Yeah.
The kid, he's not even 30.
Yeah.
And that you watch the Chiefs enough, you've seen this before. Like, if you keep him in the pocket, uncomfortable, and the defense swarms around him, he doesn't have it in him. He never has to not throw the ball away. He always tries to extend plays. He tries to make plays, and he does a good job of it in the regular season. He gets on a roll where he won't turn it over at all, and
Uh-huh.
then sometimes, the competitive nature of him in the big games like that, he's so used to it going right, and it looked just like the Tampa Bay game. He just wasn't comfortable. You
Yeah.
know, Kelsey picked a hell of a time to just decide to, like, it was almost like he wasn't even there. He didn't even look like he was mentally there. Like, I think
He
he's
looked
so
shut down.
focused. Yeah, I think he was so focused on the noise from the retirement and everything. I really truly think I don't think he was trying to have that out as much as it was in the media.
Yeah.
And I think you could tell. You could just something didn't seem right.
I
Uh
think as a Chiefs fan, I think like yourself, I think we if we won the Super Bowl, I think he was walking away.
Easily. And now I think he's
Now
like,
it's now it's a okay, do I want to end my career that way?
yeah. And
The problem entails is what is owed to him
yeah,
financially. Is he, you know, do they cut him,
right.
save some money?
Yeah.
Do they Does he take a team friendly deal to stay?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you look at it all year, and maybe it's a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
He's going to go down as one of the greatest tight ends, if not the greatest tight end to play the game. He started off his career, and I heard someone say, and I totally agree with this, that the thing about Travis that I think a lot of people can relate to was his whole life when he first started off, college career, high school, even he has said it, he was a hothead
Mm-hmm.
and he grew up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that relates to a lot of people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He had that sense of being, showing that human side. We saw the swagger in his early career, early part of his career.
Yeah.
We saw the cockiness the early part of his career.
Mm-hmm.
We started to get to see him as a person through their podcast.
Oh yeah.
How his interactions. It started off with his interactions with his nieces,
Mm-hmm.
his interactions with his brother, and then, of course, the interactions with old Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah. That boy.
Which,
That boy.
it goes down to me as saying, you're known as a young stud stallion who could have any woman he wanted.
Yep.
Probably ran through a couple of them, and then he found the biggest pop star in the world, and them two generally could tell are deeply in love.
Oh yeah.
Which what absolutely floors me how people love to talk shit about that.
Man,
And
it's just
you know
another thing.
his you could just tell it was, if we win, I'm gone. I'm going to ride off to the sunset.
Yep.
Which, what athlete doesn't want that?
Yep. Exactly.
I to this day, and I'm sure you have a few athletes that you grew up watching that you wish you could have seen do that.
Mm-hmm.
When Michael Jordan won his sixth, just leave, go off to the sunset. But no, he had to come back.
Yep.
It's like, if he comes back and he gets traded, does he hurt his legacy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, no, I don't think it. Nothing's really going to hurt his legacy, and I think if he decides to come back, they'll make it work.
Yeah.
He's beloved here. He's never been anywhere else. I still think he's got good football in him. I think it's not so much that he is past his prime or that he's not producing as much. It's just the young kids that they have are exciting.
What is he?
And
35, 36?
yeah, I think he's
He'll be
36.
what? Yeah, 37 next
Yep.
year.
So, you know, and I mean, Chiefs haters will say, I mean, I've heard it all fucking week already. Everyone's going to say, oh, they're done. They'll never get back there again, which cracks my shit up because, I mean,
I think you
you get,
just pissed off Mahomes.
yeah, and I mean, that's the thing is you piss that man off. You're going to have Veach works magic in the draft.
Yeah.
They're going to lose some players. They're going to lose some. They're going to lose a lot of guys. Veach is going to, or Mahomes will restructure his contract. I've
Yeah.
heard that. I already read that he's already working on it. They'll free up money. You've got, Humphrey's their left tackle that has already said and stated he wants a full season and a full camp to earn the
Mhm.
left tackle job. The guy's only 2 years removed from being a Pro Bowl left tackle, and we threw him right into the mix after he was literally coming off a knee, and right
Yeah.
into left tackle on at the time the best AFC team, and
Yeah.
they're in the league. So that's a lot of pressure. Step in and protect that quarterback
Yeah.
after being off for a year off a blown knee as a lineman who's 350 pounds. So I think if they get that shirt up, I don't know if Trey Smith's going to be here. I think he's probably going to go, but I think Veach will pull off enough strings to they're going to have to address the line. I mean, there's going to be some,
that's
yeah. Creed's locked in for good. we have one more year of Jawan Taylor we actually have to stomach where we can't really do anything about it. But then that second year of that, I think I want to say it's easier to let him go. Like they won't need as much money.
Yeah,
If Kelsey does stay, I mean, I think Noah Gray's going to be a good piece. I think
I think that there's a couple big tight ends in the draft coming out.
there's some options.
Yeah, there's some big tight ends.
That TCU tight end, man. Wiley, I
TCU
mean,
tight end.
he got hurt. No one got to
Yeah.
see what he could do.
There's a lot of tight ends coming. There's a lot of O linemen coming out.
And they'll be free agents, man. They'll. I think with Kelsey, he's got to be thinking if he retires, I mean, he's got everything.
If we grab a tight end, which I think we'll have, you're either going to go if they grab a tight end, which they can find a great tight end later rounds. I think that's the cue. Either he's signing for 1 year.
Yeah.
Team friendly, let's make one more run at this and let me ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Or he's going to retire.
Yeah. I mean, and
it's not going to come out till after the draft.
They've got, and you look at it, with what they're returning, with Andy still there, Patrick still there, everything there. I mean, I can see why he's sitting back and like letting it all soak in before he makes a decision, because now, I mean, you're going to be right back in the same boat. You still have the big three. The Ravens, Bills, and Chiefs are still the three teams. One of those three teams is going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
That's how it is. You look at all the other teams, are the Chiefs going to go 15-2? Probably not. But you look at all of the teams coming up in the AFC, none of them are there yet.
Yeah.
And Lamar's not going anywhere. Josh Allen's not going anywhere. Patrick Mahomes isn't going anywhere.
No.
I mean, yeah, you'll have the Bengals will play into that maybe. We've been playing the same Bengals bullshit for the last few years. Oh, they're going to be there. Oh, they should be there. The best team. They're the best team not in the fucking playoffs again, because they can't win when you got to win one of them first 6 games, boys.
Houston will be there.
Houston will be battling. They'll be in there.
They'll be in there. They have an O line too. They need to build up.
And I think the Eagles, if that defense, they're getting ready to lose a lot of veterans. They're in the same boat. They got a lot of free agents they're going to have to figure out too. Now, the offense, juggernaut, pure juggernaut. Everybody on that offense is there. I mean, defense is young. They've got that core.
Did they lay the blueprint for, say, Baltimore and or Buffalo on how to beat the Chiefs?
No. The Buccaneers laid the blueprint originally. They could have read it then, and they still couldn't beat them. Honest to God, I think that 2 weeks, you got to think about it. They give everything they got every time they play the Bills.
Yes.
They get a Super Bowl. The Bills get a Super Bowl performance out of the Chiefs every time they play them. And yes. I'm not taking anything away from the Eagles. I think the Eagles were the perfect recipe of a team to beat the Chiefs with playing. The Chiefs played what? They played 2 games.
Yes.
In 2 months, almost. A month and a half. And one of them's the Bills. And, the Texans even gave it to them pretty good. And you go into that game, and the Eagles are loaded to the gills and have played real good football all the way through the playoffs, and a young, hungry team. I mean, I don't think the blueprint's any different than it was. I think it's Mahomes just kind of slipped back into his ways. He wasn't trusting his line.
Didn't trust anybody.
Nope. He was trying to make plays that weren't there. If the positive to take out of it was Xavier Worthy. Went nuts.
What was it? 8 targets for
132 or 152, somewhere near 2 tutties.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So
and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's the quietest 136-yard, 2 touchdown performance I've ever seen.
Exactly. And on defense, the Chiefs played well, man, but I think the game plan was the game plan was shut down Saquon, make Jalen beat you, and we forgot about Devonta Smith. And then when you do that, the last Devonta Smith's kind of that he's real
AJ
good.
Brown same way.
Yep. And you make Jalen beat you, and Jalen had a good game.
Well,
He played well. Jalen Hurts plays big in big games.
he does.
Games that don't matter, Jalen Hurts. You can say all you want. Sometimes he sucks. I mean, straight up. Games that matter, Jalen Hurts is. You take away the one game he got benched in college for Tua, and any
Yeah,
other time, I mean, ever since then, you look at it, that was his switch, man. So I
he
think what's up?
Jalen Hurts is the real deal.
No, yeah. I
He
mean,
is.
he's legit. He's solid.
He gets a lot. Of course, he gets a lot of negatives thrown at him. But I'm like, look at one of the most consistent quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He's up there. You got, of course, you'll have Patrick. You got, Lamar, and you have them, and it's just he's up there. He's up there with
Yeah.
with the other three.
Kid's been to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. So I mean, yeah,
Lost
he's legit. Yeah, the only thing I hate about the Eagles, like, I have no problem with the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I just fucking hate Nick Sirianni. If he chokes on a wine bottle, I'd be fucking the first one standing there laughing at him. I fucking hate him with a passion. Like, I didn't like it has nothing to do with the Chiefs. The dude just sucks. I hate his face. And I mean, I can't say he sucks as a coach. Obviously, he's doing something right, but I gotta love it. Darius Slay was a Lion.
Why didn't he do that when he was in Kansas City?
Right. But Darius Slay was a Lion, so I'm happy. You gotta love that. I mean, Saquon to me it cracks me up.
I tell you what, I was a huge Saquon fan when he was at Penn State. Of course, he probably went somewhere he should. You wish he would have never ended up.
Right.
I can't believe the Giants let him go to the Eagles.
That's why it's awesome. That's what makes the whole thing.
And that's one of those. It is. It's one of those kind of where you relate to a lot of things. It's like Babe Ruth going from the Red Sox to
Right.
the Yankees. The Giants just, you're not going anywhere for here on out.
No, and then I've said it on. I put it on my Facebook status probably like 10 times since it's happened. I'm like, every time Saquon went off, I'm like, how does Joe Sheen have a fucking job? How does the general manager there have a job after the owner of the team, even on Hard Knocks, is like, I want to be sick if Saquon goes to Eagles. And the dude just played it off like he wasn't worth the money. I'm like, this dude's modern day Barry Sanders. Like, he's the closest thing to Barry they have now.
He is.
Yeah, dude runs for 2,000 yards, like, just easily, because he's fully healthy. And I'm like, and he wasn't worth money?
Yeah.
I'm like, give me.
I love it. And I'm. It's like you go back and I think of a lot of Eagle players that I grew up. I was a huge Randall Cunningham fan.
Randall's man.
And to see that organization in the town of Philadelphia, and it's one of those towns that they live and die their sports teams.
Exactly. They win, they burn the city down. They lose, they burn the city down.
They rebuild it and back at it.
Just like we're going to burn the city down for winning the Super Bowl. Why not?
They win the Super Bowl. I'd hate to see what happens if the Phillies win.
Jesus Christ.
Would definitely hate to see if the Sixers ever win.
Right.
And the Flyers. I mean, they have all 4 major sports.
Yep.
Oh, if they all won in the same year, I don't even know how that's a town anymore.
Right. Oh, no, it'll be gone. It'll be like, there won't be. This used to be Philadelphia, but it's gone. The only thing they won't fuck with is the Rocky statue.
What?
I sit here
what do you see happening as far as, besides Travis? I will say we get Rashee Rice back healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen what Xavier Worthy can do.
Yep. I
still think he's a number 3. I don't think he's a number 2.
No, I truthfully think Trey Smith will be gone, which will be tough. Defense, I don't think Nick Bolton will leave. I think he'll
take a team friendly.
Yeah, because I don't. I mean, he's never been. He was in Missouri, and then he's here. He loves it
Yeah,
here. I mean, he's worth. People will pay their weight in gold for that.
yeah.
But I think that I
He
truly
even
think.
said it himself. He doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, I don't think he'll leave. I think that he's one of their valuable. Like he is the he's pretty much the captain of the defense. You'll have. I think Reed's gone, Justin Reed, but
Yeah,
I think Hicks will be fine. Him and Connor back there will be fine. I think though I don't think you'll lose the experience, but those two are pretty talented. So I think
mm-hmm.
they'll be fine. I don't worry about McDuffie, Jalen Watson. I don't worry about him. I think Jalen Watson too. What was hurting him is you just get done, you come off the IR, you play a little bit,
Yeah,
then you play a little bit more, and then here's Devonta Smith in the Super Bowl.
yeah,
And Devonta Smith's the real deal. I mean, we're not
yeah.
talking
He
about
is.
Devonta Smith would be a number one receiver on 27 teams in the NFL. So
Yeah,
you look at it that way. I think Jalen Watson's fine. I don't see. I think they've got the pieces. The young guys are still there.
yeah,
The guys they're losing, there's some tough ones. I truthfully think that Kareem will come back for $5.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. I
What
don't think
about
they have. Uh, I think I could see them trying to keep Hollywood Brown first
I see that.
for the speed factor, but I also think Hollywood Brown's market's going to be obviously a lot bigger. So
Yeah.
I could see them if Hopkins is down to play for pretty cheap.
Uh huh.
I could see him doing that. I'm not going to rule
He
out. I'm not
he
ruling out Cooper Cup coming here either. Like if the Rams are now saying they're willing to eat some of his contract, I'm not. And We've got some pretty good trade ammo and some. Veach is going to do what he has to do to make sure we're all right. So
what Cooper
I'm,
Cup do you get?
huh?
What Cooper Cup do you get?
If we get healthy Cooper Cup with Patrick Mahomes throwing to him, then you run your routes, run perfect routes. You got
All
Worthy
right.
to go deep. You got Rasheed Rice back. I'll take it, but I could see them honestly going. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to go after, a, I honest to God, this is going to sound crazy. They've got him thinking to go somewhere else, but I wouldn't be shocked if the big Seahawk boy, if we don't try to trade and get DJ,
Yeah.
or we don't try to make a move to try to get a legit number one back in here. Like I
Yeah.
I would not be the least bit surprised.
I would not. I wouldn't mind seeing old Metcalf.
Nope, I wouldn't either. And do we have other team needs? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But is it
Then
is
we
it
go after another defensive line rusher.
I think so in the draft. I think that I'm truly believe that Karloftis next
You
year.
need. Yes.
I think Karloftis next year is. We got 12 sacks this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Karloftis next year becomes a dude, like full blown. He's already a dude, but I think next year Karloftis comes into.
Does he become Derek Thomas legendary?
I don't know if he comes into that, but I think he gets
Bill Smith
into.
legendary.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I think.
Somewhere there.
Yep, I think
I think,
Chris Jones is still going to disrupt things. Karloftis' motor's there. I think if they get one more interior lineman, like a run stop guy, so Jones can take a break, and if that Felix, the K State kid whose name I can't say,
you,
who
yeah,
who actually who actually kind of started a little bit to figure it out,
uh-huh.
if you get something out of him or something, yeah. But I think in the draft they'll sure up a lot of those things.
There you go. You must. Yeah.
Yeah, there's teams that, and I mean, people got to remember, like, the money's going to be tight because Mahomes cap hits the next 3 years for like 60 mil plus every year.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also going to. There's always guys that want to come here that are just like Drew Tranquil. There's just those fucking stud, quiet, just consistent dudes that they're still going to want to come play for the Chiefs because, yeah, the Chiefs you look at when they got blown out by Tampa Bay.
Uh-huh.
What happened the next year?
Yeah.
They almost made it again. They were right there, and then
lost in the AFC
lost
Championship
to
game.
Burrow. Yep, which they
Yep.
pretty much shot themselves in the foot. People can say Burrow beat them, but a halftime ball behind the line of scrimmage to Tyreek kind of
Yep.
changed that whole game. So you have that, and then what happened next year? Super Bowl. What happened next year after that? Super Bowl. There's still going to be free agents. There's still going to be guys that are going to be like, there ain't nothing different there. All they do is win there. That's the culture. We're going to go. We want to go there.
But do we get to the point where, I hate the narrative. It's funny because, you and I came up in an era where like we say it now in baseball, we got tired of the Yankees.
Yeah.
We're in the era now. We're tired of seeing the Dodgers. I know people are overkill.
Yeah.
They said Chiefs overkill. What I don't get, not that I didn't get, is because I understand it. But it's like having a chance to see history, whether it's your team or not.
Yeah.
I saw Michael Jordan win 3, leave the game, come back, win 3 more.
Yeah.
You don't see that.
No, and that's why LeBron can play 75 years, do everything he can possibly do, and you will still have almost everybody tell you, yeah, Jordan's still the GOAT.
I grew up where, we saw Brady, but Brady's career it wasn't back to back to back. He didn't have a chance at a 3-peat.
He went to it.
They didn't win back to back.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Winning 2. I mean, we saw the Montanas. We saw, we grew up watching those guys.
Yeah.
So seeing history like that is absolutely fun to watch. But I understand it, and I think as Kansas City fans in whether it's Royals, Chiefs, whatever it is, when you come from a town that for the longest the Chiefs were not the talk of the town.
No, they were dog shit.
That when the Royals were the talk of the town and they died out, and then they became the talk of the town again.
Yep.
And now they're starting to, we have young athletes who are invested into the city.
Mm-hmm.
Is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I had a conversation with somebody, and I said, they talk about the Chiefs, and they talk about how people are tired of seeing them. But what a lot of people don't take into account is that fact that how much toll that 3 Super Bowls in a row, the amount of games you're playing, the toughness of the schedule they had.
Huge.
When you think about that, 3 games in 11 days that
4.
span?
Yeah.
4.
4 and 7. 4 and 13.
Yeah, that span. And then one more game, and then it was like they got a week.
Yeah.
It didn't matter the last week because we sold up what we needed.
Yeah.
That all that wear and tear on the body, the going all the way to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So when you have teams who are getting knocked out round 1, you got teams that are done with the season early, letting their bodies rest up. These boys are continuing to play and play and play. They get a very short period of time to try to enjoy themselves. Then it's right back at it.
Right.
Do you think that also had a toll on how the game played out?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, man, dude, the Eagles were, after last year, that shitty year. Like I said, and that team's built with youth. That's one of the youngest teams in football.
Yeah.
And they were ready to go. And heavy lies the crown, man.
We've said that many times.
Yeah, imagine the pressure. You got, and we don't know, and there's so many things that could be going on behind closed doors, Mahomes' dad and John Rocker are fucking trying to throw hands on Beale Street.
I saw that.
Exactly. Mahomes he had just had his first baby.
The third baby.
Yeah, so, You know,
And and his brother, even though his brother's kind of taking the
yeah,
back seat
he's
now in the
still
picture,
there.
his his wife still has a tendency
Yeah, to say some stupid shit.
to say stupid stuff.
Yeah.
You
You've
know, I'm
got the noise from that. You've got every single fucking
commercials,
and then you got the dudes like
media.
all the announcers right now pumping the narrative, just pumping the ref thing because at the end of the day, sports are also, especially professional sports, they're also entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Their jobs are to create drama and narratives that make you must see TV, tune in to watch them. Good guy versus bad guy, heel turn. It's all a big soap opera at the end of the day. Yes, it's real sports, but most of those announcers, even the NFL guys, the ones that become good announcers and the ones that you see are guys that know how to flip the narrative and tell the story that people want to
Yes.
hear.
Yes.
So if the refs do anything right now, what's the media pushing? We're going to jump on it. If it's Troy Aikman, who's worthless as a bag of ass as an announcer, of course he's going to say something. Joe Buck, notorious KC hater, all the way around. Just if he
A
ever,
lot of that I always laugh about with Joe Buck. See, a lot of people hate Joe Buck. I don't mind Joe Buck. I'll be
I
honest.
like him. I like him when he's not announcing Chiefs games or Royals games.
I think what a lot of young, uh, people who are just now getting to know Joe Buck and all that stuff realize that, he's a Missouri boy. He grew up across over in St. Louis,
Yeah, his dad's a legend.
and dad's a legend. And of course, what is one of the things that you're always, the battle back and forth to St. Louis to Kansas City.
The I-70
So
series.
that time of era when his dad was doing it, the
Mm-hmm.
Royals hated the Cardinals hated the Royals,
Yeah.
and I'm sure a lot of that's you know bred into them.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
I have no issues with Joe Buck. When I think what happens is one of those things is people hear other people say it, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's right, I don't like him. Ah, you
The
know,
the Madison
after
Bum the Mad
yeah,
Bomb World Series is what
well,
got me. So
yeah,
I had no Joe Buck problem, and then after Mad Bomb World Series, I had a problem. Like I'm like, I get it, and he's good, but we're under his nuts a little
I
bit,
will sit there and say
a little bit.
this about announcers. Troy Aikman
I
is,
can't fucking stand him.
I think what happens is all athletes, former, current, all carry egos.
Oh yeah,
And I
and
think
he was a cowboy.
Troy Aikman ego shows through his
Oh yeah,
broadcasting.
oh yeah.
He
Romo.
doesn't like when people overtake what he did or they downplay what he did to compared to say Patrick Mahomes. I think when it was said and done, Brady commentating the game, not narrating the game, commentating the game, he had a chuckle inside saying, and this was supposed to be the GOAT. I'm still the
Oh
GOAT.
yeah, oh yeah. Brady's oh yeah. You know he had a
You
little
know,
smile in there. He could not. You know.
it's that is sports, that is athletes, that is like I said, former athletes, egos ride high.
Oh yeah.
They do.
And without the announcers, man, they have to tell the story. So, I
Yeah.
mean, we can all sit here and say how much we love sports, but you go to a Royals game, you have the music and the
Yep.
sounds of the game that you thoroughly enjoy.
Yep.
They still announce the lineup. They still announce the hitters.
Yep.
You go to a football game, you have an announcer pretty much the whole game.
Yeah.
Chiefs games, you have the crowd and the noise. So that noise is there for that stuff. But when you're watching on TV, I dare anybody that's a big sports fan, how you know you're a true sports fan, like take you, me, half the fellas we know, ladies and fellas we know. Turn the TV on mute and watch that game.
Pretty much.
Tell me how many people you know that'll sit there and turn the baseball game on mute and watch a whole fucking 3 hours of it, all of it, and sit there and enjoy it with nothing. Because I think too, rolling off of like the announcer part, sports fans these days and people that jump on these fucking narratives and this dog shit, they don't even watch. Like they're just it's. I mean, I'm not going to go into what else they sound like, but I'm not even going to get fucking started. But there's a place for it. There's always going to be a place for it.
There it is.
They're gonna say, "Oh, it's this goddamn ref's fault," and then it catches fire. It's just like a trend. Kids eat fucking Tide Pods. We went through that. Skibbity and Ohio Riz are fucking terms nowadays. I don't know what any of that shit means.
the narrative.
Everyone's got to have an iPhone.
Haitians are eating dogs and cats.
Eating dogs still, goddamn dogs and cat eaters. It's always going to be something. I'll tell you what though, that halftime show.
I was getting ready to roll into that, and my question was, now that we got over it,
say Drake,
what is your take on the Kendrick Lamar halftime show? Because I'll be honest, I sat there, watched the game. I had my mother over, of course my wife and I, and then of course we had the 13-year-old boy who understands who Kendrick Lamar is.
Mm-hmm.
What is your take on what did you think? Because I know there was a lot of people said they didn't like it and said that, and I guess what they didn't understand is what they didn't see.
Yep.
The symbolisms
were great.
Because it was, I would say it to the fullest where I go, he was Picasso.
Mm-hmm.
He painted a picture.
Yep.
And didn't have to be all flashy about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the flashiest thing was the car that he came out was on.
Yep.
Everything else was subtle.
Very, very.
A lot of people didn't understand it. It took me a minute when he came out with the chorus, the hit song, the diss on Drake. And a lot of people didn't understand because it took me a minute too until I heard something and the boy had asked me, why is he wearing a lowercase a?
Mm-hmm. A minor.
It didn't dawn on me till I saw something. I thought that was something because it's like all week you would see something else. And so you're like, I caught a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
The jab of when he said, this is, this is televised. You picked the wrong guy at the right time or something like that. And the symbolisms with the flag and having Samuel L. Jackson play Uncle Sam.
Yep.
And the subtle hints of saying, the comments are saying that like blacks have always been used to entertain you. But the whole A minor thing, when I found about that, I was like, that was the most subtle diss.
Oh.
At somebody. And when I heard it, and it was all like, so in music, the music chord, a capital A means, a major A. You play the tone, and then the lowercase A minor.
Yep.
And I was like,
yep. Dude's genius. Like there are ways to annihilate and destroy somebody like Eminem does it, and like Lil Wayne does it, and then there is just a fucking death of 1,000 cuts torture, while also speaking on unity and the nation and the video game controllers. If anybody realized that he made a PlayStation controller,
it didn't dawn on me till after I saw something. Yeah. But I saw when at the end it said game over.
Mm-hmm.
And I was all like, Drake's career is done.
Yes, he was playing like he was even like playing off of each controller because they were all shaping into the controllers. When he said 40 acres and a mule right before he went into it, if anybody understands that, I mean, a lot of people have no fucking clue what that's about. If I were you, I would check out some history, maybe you know
The fact that it was
get an
said,
education while you still can, and because I'm not sure you're ever going to be able to learn that shit in here pretty soon. But oh, I said that. Oops. But
whoops,
but yeah, man, I can never get that song out of my head. So
no.
like, and then when he smiled directly at the camera and said, "Say Drake, I heard you like him young." I'm like, this dude literally
And that
like,
was Undertaker's.
this sounds bad, but back in the day, we heard first off, "Fuck your bitch" and the click you claim, and I'm like, oh, Pox, we're all in, we're going
I
that way, and then
I
I'm going,
what I don't know if you caught the Grammys or part of the Grammys. I really don't watch stuff like that anymore. And
I
he
I
was
I watched the highlights. I never watched the show
when
anymore.
the fact that when I saw it and he was announced as the winner, and when they played the song when he hit the stage and everybody in the arena during the Grammys sung A minor,
Yep.
and then when you heard it in at the Super Bowl and everybody seemed to know, and it didn't matter who was there, and they said A minor.
Yep.
That right there has that was you raise your hand, put your hand up. You
Yep.
now the champ. Everybody
Yep.
bow.
You're it.
You are taking diss tracks to a whole nother level,
Oh yeah.
and the amount of simple pettiness to where you had someone's ex girlfriend
Two of them.
crip
Two of them.
crip walking on stage, and she just happens to be one of the most famous, if not the best and famous tennis players
Yep.
ever.
Yep.
Done.
Yeah. He. If there was, if I mean, I don't. I mean, he didn't even have to do all that, but the fact that he was icing that cake and like just saying, "Hey, man, let me just reiterate, you're done." I mean,
He
now don't
iced,
get me wrong.
he
Drake,
iced it. He put the cherry on top.
yeah,
He put some extra whipped cream.
Drake's fans are going to be Drake's fans, and it's just like, and I mean, we can look at it sports. It'll be like Burrow and Mahomes or Allen Lamar, however you want to do it. But holy shit, that dude! And then like just everything he did, like you know, the messages there, like there was some unity there. There was a lot of things he was doing with the flag and stuff. Like that dude, everything he does is calculated. Like
There-
he doesn't just, like Eminem is violently chaotic when he goes at you,
yeah,
and like it all makes sense, but there's a calculation to it. But it's more of a rage calculation. This dude is a 5'5" kid that was in goddamn bell bottom jeans, like old school dude, like wide boot jeans, and
that's what
just
they were.
yeah, and just
But
destroyed.
Nike Cortez is on.
Yeah,
The
his
hoodie.
his Gloria jacket that stands for
Yeah,
glory, and yeah, just everything he like, just genius. I
the,
mean, and I loved it. Like I know a lot of people in the Super Bowl like it's the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm like, is it the worst thing you've ever seen, or are you saying that because
oh,
that's what you
first
should
of all,
say? That's what you think you're going to say. Like, oh,
I
this is
will
so
go
boring. I'm
ahead.
like, I'm like,
And
my thought is, I'm like, what do you want? Fucking ZZ Top and a goddamn Oak Ridge Boy reunion or some shit on there? Like, what are we
when
doing?
you're, I, I, I will say it. And when you're blind or you don't want to see, when you're, because I'm sorry, you're in the South.
Yeah,
You in New Orleans. Regardless of what they said, I don't think you all the hype when they it should be Little Wayne and Little Wayne, Little Wayne, Little Wayne, and all those. I think when it's said and then when it's said and done, they made the right choice.
yeah,
On top of it, It is the most viewed Super Bowl halftime show that beat out Michael freaking Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
He like, I'm sorry. If this, if I said it myself, is you didn't want to see Drake because of what Drake, or you didn't want to see Kendrick because of what Kendrick represents.
Yeah.
You wanted to see, people want to see what you're used to.
Yeah.
Last year, you had a guy who performed last year. You had Pop. There was R&B. Who I forgot who it was last
I
year.
don't even remember who was last year, honestly.
Yeah.
I remember Rihanna. I remember
Rihanna.
when Dr. Dre
Yep.
and Snoop. That was
Snoop.
awesome. Yep. I remember
Remember,
Riri. I remember.
although people complained when you had Jennifer Lopez and you had Shakira out there.
See, and I fucking hated that one.
Why do we need to see two Latin women shaking their ass?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
because it's fun to watch.
Fun?
Yeah,
Two beautiful Latin women.
And honestly, don't get me wrong, that was one I mean, I liked it for the eye appeal. I remember being like, but I ain't never thought J-Lo could sing worth a lick anyway. So I'm like, Jesus Christ. So, but I'm like, let's be honest here. I'm going to be a shallow male here. I was like, I was enjoying the eye candy. I'm like, yeah.
Usher.
All right.
Usher was last year.
Usher was like, yep. I remember like Katy Perry was good. Like Katy Perry had a good. I'll tell you what though, Prince was a bad motherfucker.
And the crazy part is people will argue whether Prince had the best performance at a halftime show, and a lot of people will, because how ironic, he sings "Purple Rain" and it's raining at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And of course, Michael Jackson will go down as probably the best. Maybe now the second best. But I think what it is people want to have their own narrative.
Oh, yeah.
Anymore, everything is about narratives.
Yeah, because
you think it was better off having, like you said, ZZ Top,
right?
It better off having Lainey Wilson and what's his name, Shabatzi or Shabotzi, whatever his name is.
And it's the same thing. Like I love country music too, but you really think? I mean, you're going to sit here and tell me George Strait, who I've actually seen in concert, one of the greatest country singers ever. George Strait standing up there with a guitar.
Yeah.
That is George Strait's show. That's what he does. You're going to tell me that you literally, people are going to say, "Oh, that would have been so much better," and I'm like, that's perspective.
And what people would have said is, if you would have had, say, Lainey Wilson, and you would have had, say, oh God, was big guy,
Jelly Roll,
there,
Morgan Wallen.
They would have been absolutely, that was the best show ever.
Exactly.
Right? Because their narrative is that.
Yeah, and it would have been the best show ever, even if they messed up a song, fell off the stage. Doesn't matter what it would have been. It would have been the best show ever.
If Lady Wilson would have turned around and her pants would have fell.
Yep.
And it would have been okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Since you had, and I think what people forget about is music is art. Hip hop is art, and it was a way how people got across news of what happened and what goes on in the inner city.
Right.
It was the way of inner city Black youth to get out what they were living. And what happened was you have a young kid who is extremely brilliant, and he basically painted a picture like Picasso.
Mm-hmm.
And people who didn't like that narrative said it was the worst one ever. And people who absolutely loved it and believed in that narrative said it's one of the best halftime shows ever.
Right. And the cliche thing is, you think, oh, he's just this and that, and he's just another rapper. And I'm like, all right, let's do the math. Well, he doesn't even smoke weed. Like, Kendrick Lamar doesn't do weed. Doesn't even smoke weed. Doesn't the dude, like, I mean, he's getting ready to help direct a comic book thing with like Trey Parker and Matt Stone from
Yeah.
South Park. You know, he's the new Captain America. He's helping do the music. Like the talent that man had. The dude's got a fucking Pulitzer Prize. You know, and the thing with me is like I don't like. I'm gonna not even like. I don't like new rap. I haven't liked any little.
I
You give me Little Wayne, I'm fine. You give me any of this other Little Uzi Vert or any of that shit or any of that whatever the hell's going on. I don't understand anything they're saying anymore. And that's not sounding
I
like an
would
asshole or
say
being like I just don't get. I can't get into it like I used to like. But you give me Kendrick Lamar reminds me of like Tupac and a little DMX and a little Jay-Z and a little bit of all Nas, a little bit of all that mixed together, and I'm like, ooh.
he comes to me, and I said it too when he first came out. There's a couple songs I like, didn't get into. I really sat down. I was like, okay, with a lot of new hip hop, a lot of stuff. I really got into J. Cole.
One of the only other ones I like.
And
I
I
can give it to you there.
sit down, and yes, like any other musician, they put out the hits that were going to get played on the radio. But when you listen to the deeper songs, you go, oh, like this boy's got skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
You listen to the mixtapes, you find their freestyles on YouTube, and you listen to them. There's another one out there. His name is Dave East. Not a lot of people know him. New York rapper.
Uh-huh.
He does some acting and stuff too. He comes off very gritty. He's very DMX-ish. Very is. Has skills. Has a lot of energy. Really like him too. Kind of to me, he makes a lot of albums, so he's kind of went. It wasn't until I really sat down and listened to "Pimp My Butterfly" by Kendrick Lamar. Okay, so let me start with album 1, and let me work my way down. And I kid you not, when he released his latest one, Gen X, I listened to that thing 7, 8 times in a row. And every time I fell in love with more and more and more of the songs. And I was like, this kid gets it. And I think that's what's lost, is he doesn't go, I'm not going to show up with my gold fronts. I'm not going to show up with 50 million chains. I'm not sitting here going to have, naked women just all through my videos.
Yep.
I am West Coast to the fullest. I am here to bring people from the West Coast, Bloods and Crips, and everybody together.
Yep.
I believe in unity, and kid's genius.
Yeah. Dr. Dre said it best too. He had an interview, not really like I don't know when it was, but I saw it the other day, and it was talking about. He's like, man, he's the kind of kid that like he literally can do this, and he will do this. Like he'll go away for 5 years, and it'll come back, and it'll be like he was never gone. Like some rappers have to continuously put out album after album after album after album after album to stay relevant and stay on. And he does not.
And that's why I go, if you're a true hip hop head, I consider myself a true hip hop head. And it was a lot of times. I still remember in the 90 was it 98 when DMX dropped it had 2 hit albums in the same year. And then it was all like, okay, can he keep that going?
Yeah. Can he sustain it?
Can he sustain it? Unfortunately, and I go, you have some guys that was album after album after album after album. And you kind of like
starting to
starts to get and I listen to guys. That's what draws a lot of like the older guys in hip hop. Because I'll be honest with you, April 9th, after 10 something years now, Wu-Tang Clan is dropping another album.
I'm pumped.
And you mean to tell me that I am Wu-Tang, like I am Wu-Tang to the fullest, that I will not be listening? Like Ghostface just dropped an album a little over a year ago. I still listen to that before I listen to anything else.
Oh yeah, dude. And You think of like
It's like they never left.
no, and you think of some of the rappers like a lot of people like, and it's any mainstream music, and I'm no music genius or anything, but like, we got a good buddy named Hubbard that really truly is pretty much a music genius, and like he can tell you songs by people that you've never even heard of
Yeah,
that like truly get you, like you truly understand where their passion like for those musicians or those bands come from, and
yeah,
that's like rap, like everybody knows Tupac's All Eyes on Me double album, right?
yeah.
But then
They
you
don't know the
listen,
previous albums.
then you listen to Machiavelli the seven, on the seven, and you're
Yeah,
like, and it like tells a story the whole time, and you're like, how many people know that like me and my girlfriend on there is the same sample that Jay-Z and Beyonce went and
they did.
and you're like,
And that's what, like, when you think about it, and I always say this, and I laugh because when you hear Eminem drop a new album, everybody goes crazy.
yeah,
It's like he's never gone, oh, the GOAT is back. And then it fizzles out.
yep,
Then someone disses him.
it comes back,
They ain't come down again.
kill
And like
somebody, and go,
the guy's about to be a grandpa,
yeah,
and if he drops an album, it's going to be the best grossing album,
yeah,
at the time.
sustainable, man, like people love it.
And so Kendrick is one of those guys that he, like you said, he can go to a cave, come out. J. Cole's that way.
Yeah,
And that's
J.
why I
Cole's
said,
pretty
like,
sweet.
and part of it is that's why, like, with Dave East, he's kind of one of those ones that's like album after album after album.
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen to his first couple albums, it's like, this kid's shit.
Yeah,
He's bringing stuff back. He's getting that nitty gritty
yeah,
DMX, that Mobb Deep vibe.
oh yeah,
And then it's like, ugh,
yeah, it's starting to
come
get,
on, man. Like, disappear for a minute and drop me out.
yeah, take some time, man. Well, you think of Dr. Dre when he did the Chronic and then the Chronic 2 or whatever. I mean, I don't love like Dr. Dre. I don't put him in the lyricist like the other guys, but
No.
like the time that it took to do that, and then like he was smart enough, being a producer,
Yeah.
to put enough like have enough people on there with him
Yeah.
and put enough bangers out on that where you're like, okay, all right, and you're like, and you
You
were looking
tell
forward to
me
it. You're like,
if Metallica said, we're going to the studio,
yep,
we're driving the album,
people will go get it.
people gonna go get it.
Yep, don't matter what it sounds like, they're gonna go get it.
Doesn't matter. So April 9th, I'm throwing up the W.
Oh yeah,
Sitting at my desk.
my buddy Josh, who I worked with for a long time, he literally he has Wu-Tang Wednesday. Like his daughter Stony, they jam it. Like they know the words.
Yeah.
Like his little ones do. Like he's a huge Wu-Tang guy. So I actually sent him the link that it was getting ready to drop. He was like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Yep."
Hey, I have a 13-year-old boy, walks around Wu-Tang hoodie, Wu-Tang shirt. I have a
You gotta
6-year-old
love some Wu-Tang.
6-year-old. I got. He'll tell you all. He'll name all of them.
Yep.
He'll tell you which one he likes the best. I got a 6-year-old daughter walk around and she'll throw up the W.
I miss me some Old Dirty. I miss me some ODB. I could use some ODB in my
Crazy
life.
part is, if you ever get bored one evening or something, YouTube Old Dirty Bastard's son.
Oh, what?
Looks like him, sounds like him. Wu-Tang has even invited him to do concerts with them.
Oh.
And he has come out and did ODB's parts.
Yeah.
If you go on to Prime, I don't know if it's still on there. Prime, when Nas and Wu-Tang did their concert, they did their concerts together. Mm-hmm. There was a on Prime, and so I sat there and watched it. And Nas came out, did his stuff, and they did a lot of current stuff. But then Wu-Tang came out, and they brought out his son. And he looks like him, he's built like him, and he sounds like him.
I'll take it. I'll take me
If
some.
you get a chance, man, you
I'm gonna have to, man, because I love me some
YouTube
ODB.
from ODB son, and you will be amazed because it is some good stuff.
Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yam, shimmy, yam. I'm like, yes, that's awesome.
Hey, the Super Bowl game. I will say this. The crazy part is I thought it was going to be a blowout, and of course the narrative is, that the refs helped the Chief, and this is what happens when the refs aren't allowed. And then of course the conspiracy is, the fix was in, so they told the Chiefs to make a dive. There's a couple plays that make you go.
There was some shit that made you. Yeah, there was definitely.
Like,
That's just a weird game.
when Hopkins missed a catch that
He should have
any
caught.
other time,
Yep.
that's a catch. And Pat is he looked like a rookie.
Yeah. And there were some times when the line where I'm like, it's one thing to get around, Caliendo or Juwan Taylor.
Yeah.
If you're blasted by Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith and
it's like Olay.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, people are, I'm not taking anything away from the Eagles. It's a good game, but like, I
It
don't know,
was.
man. Sports, I'm just saying that Vegas is, ever since the sports betting thing, like, got blue, like, became.
And how odd is it that what they say, if the Chiefs would have won, Vegas would have lost out on like over $2 billion.
Yeah.
And then the fact that you're having the Super Bowl at Caesar's Palace Stadium.
I feel like Goodell's fucking shady as shit anyway, too. So
I agree with you.
Adding another regular season game or trying to, I'm like, talking about like, the fans deserve it and shit. I'm like, dude, how fat are your pockets getting with some of this stuff? But like I said, it's
Super
sports,
Bowl,
but there's some entertainment value there, huh?
The Super Bowl game itself, of course, because of what happened, I say I give it a C. Halftime show, I'll give that thing an A.
I loved it.
Best Super Bowl commercial, what did you think?
I mean, the girls flag football,
Awesome.
women's flag football, that was awesome.
Awesome.
That one, and my other favorite was the Kevin's mom from Home Alone and
yes,
William Dafoe pickleball for Michelob Light. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. So those two were by far away my favorite.
Doritos still makes good commercials.
Oh, Doritos is always good for one. Yeah, Doritos is. I'll tell you what traumatized me is that fucking Mountain Dew commercial. Like, I honest to God, I'm not gonna lie.
The one that traumatized me was the creamer one with the tongue.
Mm-hmm. See, like the seal being a seal, that was bothering me a lot. Like, Mountain Dew's like my favorite, my all-time favorite pop, and I had a problem with that.
I went to grab some food on that one, and they were all like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that one. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I'm not gonna buy Mountain Dew this week now. I'm gonna drink a fucking Zevia. It's fine.
The Harrison Ford and Jeep.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "I like my Jeeps, even though the last thing's Ford." That was a good one.
Yeah.
I kind of.
They weren't bad. I miss like the Super Bowl, like even with the Chiefs in it. Like, I love seeing the Chiefs in it, but like they're not the way they were.
The commercials, no.
They used to be
the Clydesdales. You saw the Clydesdales.
I feel like they used to be way better.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the Bud Light commercial was still funny.
Oh yeah, I mean, they've always got a couple good ones, but then there's just some which you're like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, man, maybe I should have thought of that, and I'd have made millions of dollars.
The girls' flag football was absolutely the best.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I don't. I didn't. The Super Bowl as I gotten older, man, like I used to love watching all the extra stuff. The celebrity flag football game, and you know, didn't care to watch that. Pro Bowl's a joke.
I won't even. Just a waste of time.
Pro Bowl, they don't even know why they even have. They should just.
The only All-Star game to
Worth the
me,
damn.
it all is baseball.
Yeah.
That matters to me. Like,
Home Run Derby.
yeah,
And
the Derby alone's enough. Like, but the
yeah.
All-Star game, the fact it matters.
Yeah.
I mean, it does matter, and
Yeah.
those guys, they play like they. I mean, they might
Well,
not go all the way out, but they play. I mean, it's
you can't
I
fake. So you can't fake throwing 90 and a lack of defense in
exactly.
baseball like you do
Yeah,
the NBA. You
it's
see the
oh
NBA
no,
do.
it'll stick out like a fucking sore thumb real fast.
Yeah.
And
We're
you're
to the
limited on
point
your
with the
pitcher.
Pro Bowl. They should
I
just
see.
have a Madden tournament. Give me the best.
Yeah.
Give me. Let's name the Pro Bowlers for the year, and then
Yeah.
out of the Pro Bowlers on your team that didn't go, who's the best Madden player?
Right. Yeah,
Let's have
I
it.
fucking when they quit tackling in general, like I don't know. I love football, don't get me wrong, and like I genuinely enjoy it, and I love the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, but like this is the second year in a row too. My Lions have broke my heart, so I was already like feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
So if the Chiefs three-peated, I was ready for it.
I
I was
tell you
excited
what,
about it, but I was ready for baseball. Like I was already
well, let's
once
see.
it starts.
They pitchers and catchers.
Yeah, and then that's when once that start, I can't even. That's all I don't even fucking. Everything
Well,
else just goes black to me.
there are two important things that come with Friday. One of them, of course, is Hallmark Day,
Yeah.
and the other one is the start of college baseball season.
Yes. There you go.
Division I college
There
baseball
you go.
season.
Yeah. There's. I was,
So
I was waiting for that. I'm like, the one I love my wife, and hearts and cupids and all that cute bubbly shit. But the other thing, get to that.
so since it wouldn't be us without talking about the day that probably you hated at one time. The day I still consider Hallmark holiday. It's not worth a damn except for the discounted Reese's Pieces cups that come on the 15th.
Right.
So in the day of love, let's talk about what it was with the lady of your life that has just makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
That I don't believe in having one day.
No, I mean,
let's go like this. We were both bachelors.
yeah. Yeah.
Thought we would probably just like Travis, we're gonna ride out in the sunset.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
And then these important women came into our lives.
Yeah.
And now we look at life a little differently.
It does change a lot of things, doesn't it? Some different perspective. I mean, you get into a routine. Like, you've been married, obviously. You know how this goes. Like, I've been married now long enough that like the honeymoon phase isn't, we do our thing. Like
Yeah.
every day with me, I try to make sure, like, in a way that it's Valentine's Day every single day, with Ashley. Like,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things I love about it is like,
It's
even
hard
on,
with kids.
yeah, and even on my worst day with Ashley, like, at the end of the day, I might have a shitty day, but my job, is to try to make sure she doesn't have a shitty day based off of me. So if I can get her to laugh or do something nice or, help her do anything, of course I'm going to do that. And with the daughters, that's different. So like, like I said, it's for the kids. So like, I've got two teenagers in this house now that are two teenage ladies. So I try to get them some, last year I got them some flowers and some candy and stuff. I try to get them something, just so
A
they know
teenager.
how, yeah, they know, yeah. So they know, that, they're loved and, they get stuff from Nana and stuff too, but like, that way they know that, boy children better come correct or I'll fucking kill every one of them. So,
Yeah.
I'll get them some, so I'll get them some flowers and stuff. But like Ashley's one of those things like, you know, I couldn't have lucked out. I think I did a pretty good job. I'm proud of myself for this.
Yeah.
Like she is not materialistic in any way, shape, or form. And she doesn't like flowers.
Yeah.
She's not a huge flower person. So for me to buy roses and to give her roses, even if it's a kind gesture, although she'd appreciate
Why
it.
did you do this?
Huh?
Is it like, why did you do this?
Yeah, although she'd appreciate it, she'd be like, you could have bought me something else. Now, what Ashley does love is some candy. So as long as, yes, key to my heart, as long as
Yes.
I get her favorite candies, if we get some, particular, she likes Reese's, she likes gummy bears, big gummy bear fan. You get her candy she likes, you get her, a Coke Zero or a Mountain Dew, something like that, the stuff that she
Yeah.
genuinely enjoys. I'm gold.
Now,
I'm me, and I have such a way with words that I don't need to buy a card because I'll literally tell her about 13 different roses are red, violets are blues, or somethings that will roll off with something just absolutely inappropriate and get a
we're
laugh and
to
be
the
golden.
point where, I sit here and go, we're to the point in our lives and with our wives and everything like that. And men, I'm sure we're not the only men to do this. Is, why beat around the bush?
Yeah,
Happy Valentine's Day. Let me see some boobies.
exactly. I love you. If that means you want to,
let me rub the butt.
yeah. If
You
that
know,
means
if you
you want to
want,
massage my
I'll
poor
rub it.
shoulder,
I'll rub it in a heart shape if you want me to.
exactly. If I can get you to scratch this part of my back that my short little arms can't reach, I will appreciate it. That is all the Valentine's gift I need. Type deal, yeah. So
I go and it's crazy because wife works with some younger women,
mm-hmm.
and this past Christmas went to their holiday, Christmas party, the company Christmas party. And we're sitting there, and we're all having the dinner portion of the thing, and got to hearing how one of the girls was for like her husband's birthday. They're young.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're talking about late mid-20s.
Well.
That it was a very, let's buy a gift like every day up to the birthday or some shit like that. And it wasn't like, and then was expecting it kind of in a return type thing,
Yeah.
And I'm like, the first date that we, I went on with my beautiful wife that, got to talking to her a little bit, and she said something, and and maybe it was me. Maybe she does like flowers, but I said, I hate flowers because flowers die. What's this?
Yeah.
And she was talking about how much she loved banana chips. So first date, I didn't show up with flowers. Showed up with a sack and a bag of banana chips in it for her.
Boom.
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 You know what keeps the smile on my wife's face?
What's that?
Me show up at work Friday, Valentine's Day, with a Starbucks cup,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't have to ask for it.
Right. Exactly.
And,
Like
and,
it's
and maybe a crumble cookie if you don't like a crumble cookie.
exactly. That's I could
Boom.
do baked potato. If I told her, like, if I said, "Do you want to go out and eat dinner?" Oh no. If I sit here and she absolutely loves she loves baked potatoes, and the way I make baked potatoes, I tell her I'm going to make her a baked potato for dinner, and we're going to go to Sonic for
Boom.
ice cream. Yeah, or if I take her to fucking Dutch Brothers,
Boom.
boom, done. Like there ain't. I'm top 10 there, man.
Maybe we're fortunate. I'm sure a lot of guys out there we don't have to spend get you 2 dozen roses or a rose for every year we were married, or for our love doesn't change from day to day.
No.
We she the best thing ever. She comes home, she takes care of the kids, she cooks the dinners for us, she
Right.
spoils me in other ways.
Exactly.
When I can say, "Hey, babe, you might I need my back scratch. You hit that
Mhm.
spot."
Yep.
Hey, that's all I need.
And I think too, man, like I think you're probably the same, but I am like I know with Ashley, like she might not say and stuff, but like then she does too. Like she doesn't say it all the time. And I don't need to hear it all the time, but like I don't need that reassurance.
Yeah,
But the fact that, you know, we go out of our way and put kids that didn't come from us first and, always and like, that
yeah,
part of it, I think that tears me up. But that kind of stuff is huge too, and I think that's a huge part of it too. Like that's one of our ways I know for me is she knows how much I love her because like I could be having the worst day ever and I can be a grumpy prick, but at the end of the
yeah,
day, like all of them come first, like way before I do. And like that's what matters. Like and she knows
yeah,
that. So I mean I think that constant and I don't think I ever quit. I know you're probably the same way I am with this. Like I'm very direct, obviously and stuff. But one of the things
oh
I'll
yeah,
never quit doing, because I'm a goofy ass like that, is I never quit coming up with ways to like throw out subtle hints of "What's up? Can I get some?" lines, or just cheesy ass lines. Like every day, you could ask her. Every day, I come up with something.
hey,
Yeah, what's up?
hey,
Or I'm like,
hey, 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 yeah, huh?
yeah, anything.
Hey.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
I say we go to bed early tonight.
exactly. Or if I can get any way or any way to annoy her, I possibly can. So my favorite one
So
is
you
to
stand there's a chance.
yep my favorite one. There's no doubt I'm definitely gonna smack her butt at least 27 times in a day.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen. If if
gonna
if you
happen.
if you leave it there, it's gonna happen. If I can get a little baby touch, I'm gonna accidentally with my elbow. There's a brush. There's a shoulder. There's
Hey,
there's fingers. Anything I can get. You know
hey,
I you
I'm
know
like a kid in a candy store the minute
Yep.
you come out the shower, girl.
Exactly, and it's always
And
like
I'm waiting for the tap drop.
exactly, and I'm like that every morning. So like she leaves before I do, but like I could be dead asleep, and like my intuition tells me when to open my eyes, and then I'm ready, and I'm like, all right,
So,
and then I'll go right back to sleep.
yep.
I say I'm like you bet, and then
Hey,
I'm like how you doing? Roll back over, I'm out cold. She
and
just like
then and
shakes her
then,
head
and
at me, and
then, and then like you don't like you give you a kiss on the give you a kiss goodbye, you give them that little pat on the butt, and
yep,
then the
you're
minute
like
they look at you like, "What's wrong?
exactly,
What do you mean, what's wrong?
yep,
Uh, what's wrong?" They turn around
yeah.
like, "Oh yeah,
Every day is a good game. If you've been a ball coach at all, or you know how it is, the famous teammate bus smack. Every day is a good game in this house with that wife. The old lady every day is good game.
well, you know." And then the one day she didn't, and I joked around. I patted her on the back and said, "Oh yeah, my bad. Good job."
Almost, she about gave you hands, didn't she?
Oh yeah, she gave
Yep.
me that look like
Mm-hmm.
she you motherfucker. I'm like, well, yeah, I am.
Well, and too, like some days, the best present I could ever give Ashley is just to go into the other room and leave her alone. Like I know those days too, where it's just like I'll poke the bear, and I might be the bigger bear, but I'm not the more dangerous bear when it comes to us two. So like there's just days where I think me taking the French bulldogs in the other room with Dad for an hour is enough, and because they're especially if she's working from home and I'm home or
Oh yeah,
stuff like that, it's best suited if I try to do what I can to get the dogs away from her or just to stay
oh
out of
yeah.
the danger zone. So I think sometimes she appreciates it, but I gotta still
You
annoy her.
know, I tell you what, and I know you mentioned it, and I know Valentine's Day you said something about, and I know you got two young teenage girls.
Mm-hmm.
I got one newly teenage boy, and I don't know how you do it when you got the ones with the hormones.
Oh my. Huh.
Me and him, he's been 13 now for maybe not even 30 days yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been ready to throw hands about good 20 of them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. It's every day, every
It's like,
single day.
mm,
I got one. I got one that is going to be 16, obviously in May. I got one that
mm.
she'll be ungrounded for a week, 2 weeks. She'll make it ungrounded. Same reason, same mo, same thing to get grounded for. She knows it's coming, and what do? We go right back into that trap. It's like you put cheese in a
Yeah,
mouse trap, and she gonna go
yeah,
get that cheese every time. I'm like,
same thing.
yeah, I'm like, God damn it! And then the other one,
Boy was 13 for literally a week, and then he's been grounded for the past,
yep,
not even the past 3 weeks,
yep. And then I'm,
going on a month. And
I,
I'm like, look, man, don't you get it yet?
no, they don't even.
And then he'll go, yeah, I'll change my ways. And then what happens?
Mm,
2 days later, does the
same
same
bullshit.
shit.
Yep.
Same
The
bullshit.
13-year-old little girl in this house has, like I said, been around me the most.
Uh-huh.
So she has a lot of her sass already, and then a lot of me
Oh, yeah.
has rubbed off on her. So she likes to like push the envelope a little bit
Oh, yeah.
just to see how far she can go. And when she sounds like me, I kind of have like a low key appreciation for it. So I'm like,
Well, now
but
we're
yeah.
to the one up. I got a one up here.
Oh boy.
The one up. And when mom one day had to straight say, like, you're gonna lose.
Right.
I don't know why you do it,
Right.
because you're not gonna beat them. And I was all like, I don't. You poke the bear, you poke the bear, you poke the bear, and then when I go for the jugular, you get mad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I get it. I get it.
Man, I'll
They
tell you
don't
what. They
they don't realize how old school we are as like stubborn as in like any kind of one-upsmanship they think they have or the fast ones they try to pull on you. We done been pulling them for years. So like
they don't understand it.
no, so I sit here and like that's what God bless my middle daughter. That's her. I love her to death, but that's her. Like we go and Kate and Carly's the same way. I got nothing but time. So like
Yeah.
we can do this
Like,
until I die.
and then they get mad. It gets mad when I say I don't care.
Yeah, you're like you put yourself in the situation. This is an
And then you
accountability
want to
thing,
get upset, and I'm like, I don't care.
right? You're like, I'm like, take that shit to your mom. It ain't working here.
You want to cry, cry to someone else.
Yep.
Go cry to grandma. Grandma give you attention. I won't.
And that's the thing here is they have grandma for that. So if they and that's it at grandma's house, whatever you want to do at grandma's, if grandma lets you do it, you have a great time at grandma's. When you get back home where you live, this shit's still here, and I still remember.
Man,
And then
I
you want to hear something funny? Braden's got him a serious girlfriend.
oh man.
Yeah. And of course, I never thought I would be, I know I'm not cool, but in my mind, I'm still cool. But I never thought we would be the parents that we won't bring the girlfriend over to, won't bring her to the house. Like we've went over to see, and it was like a fucking great white, and I'm gonna say it was like a unicorn sighting. He actually went over to his Nana and Papa's for the first half of the Super Bowl game and actually got to,
Not her.
yeah, and I think he actually got to introduce him to his dad.
Oh.
So it was like a fucking great white unicorn sighting. So I don't know how that went. I don't really care. But I'm like, I'm glad he got to meet. Like, I'm glad he got to
Well,
introduce her to his dad. But
we have been through the. Let's see. The beginning of the year, it was like somebody got shut down.
mm-hmm.
Found someone. Best thing ever.
Yep.
Broke his heart.
Oh yeah.
Got over it. Now he's on to the other one.
On to the next one.
And this one I had to warn him. That we had a nice little brother-in-law and myself were Christmas Eve. And, telling him about because, he found him a little Mexican gal.
Oh, boy.
And had to warn him about you may get stabbed.
It's a possibility. Outside chance, it is there.
She gonna love you good. She gonna feed you right, but she will stab you in a heartbeat.
You will get you will get your eyes raked out.
And I ain't gonna feel sorry for you.
Nope.
I'm gonna say, what did you do?
And they'll be like, what? What I do? Well, that's the first question. What did you do?
So we've been through the roller coaster of teenage relationships already. Seventh grade, and the girls are, he's finding the girls, and they're catching his eye, and it's found this little Mexican girl, and I go, I don't know what she sees in you,
right?
But
I'm lucky right now, man. Neither, as far as we know, neither of the girls have boyfriends, or they're still. Yeah, Carly's still like, yeah, boys are stupid, and Katie's just kind of running right now. Where I think she's just so shy.
Yeah,
that it helps. It helps me, thank God.
Yeah,
but Braden's been with. I don't know how long Braden's been with his little girlfriend now. It's been quite a while already. I feel like it.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then and of course she's one of the wrestling managers, so it helps even more.
Oh,
he gets to spend time with her all the time. So yeah, but
well,
cracks my shit up though. Guy won't bring her over here to meet us. She's met Ashley, but I'm like, God, is stepdad just that fucking lame? And it's probably true, and that's fine.
Probably is.
But I'm like, God, I'm a lot because he knows I'm going to embarrass the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's probably like, I'm not.
Love is in the air this month.
Yep.
I said, hey man, did you get her something for Valentine's Day? They got these little things they get at school that they can send to the little, the little Valentines, and
yep.
They something. So he got her one of those, and I was all like, now she's probably gonna break up with you because you bought her something.
Right.
Used his own money.
Oh. See, Braden, that's what I'll give Braden credit. He's been doing, he's got her, Christmas he did pretty good. He's got her some stuff. I actually sent him, and the only reason I sent him to him because they were pissing me off because it kept coming on my goddamn phone. But on Facebook, it's like them glittery roses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she likes roses, or like flowers, it seems like, because he's went that route. And I'm like, I sent him a link to get those. Of course, teenage boy never even says anything back or acknowledges that I even said.
Didn't even give you a thumbs up.
Didn't even get that. No. I get I'm lucky to get a thumbs up on a Tuesday morning. But the funny thing is, and I still get more out of him than most people do, which is a shocker because he's got so many words. But he's been off of wrestling. We ain't wrestled in 2 weeks, so districts is coming. So
man. Pitchers and catchers report.
Hell yes, thank God.
Baseball season is here.
Yes.
Next thing you know, preparing for the draft. Man, it's
I need some.
We won't touch what's going on with the president.
I'm not even. No, I don't even.
All I can tell you is, if anybody needs any, got some eggs.
I've got. Hey, I'm not even gonna tell you because my house will get robbed. I ain't even tell you. I might not have.
I called himself the Rubber Band Man.
I might not be Oprah rich with money, but I am full blown Oprah rich with eggs. If eggs were currency right now, I would be on that Musk level.
Man,
that's where I'm at right now with the eggs.
Man,
that's my flex right now. That's my brag. That's my one thing.
I'm walking around selling them like they dime bags.
Man, I'll tell you what, we got enough of them over here. I'm still making the kids egg bites to flex at school with, so that everybody knows. Like them little motherfuckers are eating this and that. These motherfuckers are eating egg bites.
But damn it, God damn it! It was supposed to bring down those egg prices.
I'll tell you what, it's them goddamn, they got to quit eating dogs and shit.
You know,
I don't. I'll tell you
we
what.
got
I'm
we got high egg prices. Planes fall down the sky.
right. I'm trying to live my
You
life.
know, but yet we got all these other things going on, and this man wants to get rid of pennies.
Right. And here's what's bad. I'm not. I'm gonna behave myself here. So, like, I'm not. No. Anyway, I'm just gonna say this. So, like, this tariff shit, whatever, it is what it is. But I mean,
Oh, we don't.
we
We
start
don't.
we start tariffing, like, we're tariffing like metal and shit, steel and whatever. And I mean, we all know, like, I like me some Mountain Dew, and I really like me some fucking canned go juices. If my fucking pop, I'll tell you what, my pop or my goddamn $2.39 Ghost energy drink goes up to like $4.50, I'm be in my feels a little bit. Like, I'm not saying I'm gonna go like Michael Keaton falling down on everybody, but like, we're gonna be getting close. Like,
You
if I
know.
still drank,
Yeah.
if I still drank right now, I'd be a little salty. Because
You
I
know it's
mean, I
gonna
like me
piss
some
off a lot of
Canadian
people.
whiskey, so I'm like,
You know it's gonna piss off a lot of people when they go up to their favorite Mexican restaurant and that motherfucker shut down because all of them been
ain't no,
deported.
where'd everybody go? They're gone. It's all gone. Everybody's gone. Just
Shit, guess we go get us
yeah,
a nacho burrito grande from Taco Bell.
right. I'm gonna be like, hey kids, we're going to eat Mexican. Everybody's gonna be excited. We're gonna get some salsa and everything. I'm gonna go in there and be like, fucking on the front door. Gonna be like, Ice was here. Everybody gone. I'll be like, well, fuck. I guess we're going to get McChickens. Let's go get some McChickens.
Hey,
Or I'm gonna have to get me a fucking Jose Ole frozen goddamn mini taco.
well,
Throw the some bitches in the air fryer.
all them people that live in them gated communities and when they realize that their lawns ain't being cut.
And then the houses ain't getting they're demolition and they ain't gonna be knocking no houses down. Ain't
The
ain't nobody.
houses,
I'll tell you what, all these storms
while the maids ain't showing up to clean.
this spring too, when all them fucking storms and tornadoes and hail hits, and you looking for that new roof, you better fucking get up there and do it yourself. You better just climb the fuck on up there and do it your goddamn self. That roof ain't getting done. And if that
You know what? I'm already mad.
right,
You wanna know why I'm mad?
what's that,
We done cancel Cinco De Mayo.
motherfuckers, man. Well, that's what I'm sitting here. I'm like, well, fuck, man, you getting rid of this, getting rid of that. I'm like, fuck, for too long. God dang. I'm like,
You
I keep
know,
thinking, I'm like, you know what? Just don't be starting to tax.
hey,
I need.
hey man, I put it like this. I said, I'm gonna stay inside. You know, when you say ice, I don't know if it's the people come to the door. If you talk about a storm going on
Right? You're like,
outside,
what's going on out here? Is this like is the
I
bus
don't even
here?
want.
Or are we?
I don't even want ice in my water right now.
Yeah, you're like, I, I fucking man, I just people like what they like and believe what they believe, and
If you believe,
I
and I put it like this: if you said send them back, and if you said build the wall, I don't want to see your ass chomping down on a queso and drinking a margarita whatsoever.
right. I
None.
just I don't
I don't want to see you walking around singing Bad Bunny.
don't be
I don't
eating.
want you
Yeah, don't be eating any.
talking about we want Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, don't nothing Hispanic should be celebrated.
I better not
If you
even see
said
El Peso salsa in your
yeah,
shopping.
you better get rid of that fucking paste pecani
Get
sauce.
rid of it.
Better
Better,
start eating fucking. Better get on
better
that
not even
spaghetti.
have a bag of avocados in your cart.
Well, fuck here, a couple. That'd be the next thing. You be trading eggs for avocados.
Yep. Now you better sit there and drink your whey proteins and not think about a fucking margarita.
Man, it's just I'm I respect people and their opinions, and Like I said, I judge people more once I get to know them than anything else. So I guess I'm just either really different than a lot of people, than the
Well,
majority, or
May
maybe,
5th is being canceled.
yeah, maybe I'm just not supposed to. Maybe I'm just supposed to keep to myself and live my life because I
When I
worry.
just
I worry.
on May 5th, I'm gonna post the Michael Jordan crying meme with a sombrero on, and that's all I'm gonna post.
I mean, we should still celebrate it. I'm just saying.
I
Just gonna
will.
do it anyway. I'm just gonna do it
Yeah,
anyway.
fuck it.
Yeah, I'll make fucking taco. If I can't go get them at my Mexican restaurant because the motherfuckers are gone,
Yeah,
I'll
fucking
just.
Taco Bell better lower their prices too. Then
Well, fuck that. I got a big enough truck. I'll sneak them motherfuckers back over here. Get me some goddamn tamales. I got a big garage. I mean,
hey man,
I better not say that. The motherfuckers will be at my door now and be like, hey,
hey, you already saw what they did in Liberty, Missouri.
they came in hot, dude.
Came in.
Man. And I'll tell you what, I don't mean this bad, but I have to make the joke. Can you imagine the amount of hillbillies at Texas Roadhouse that were just thoroughly enjoying that motherfucker right there? Goddamn, they got him. Old Juarez is gone. Like, Jesus. Look out here, Ruth. They stole that son bitch. Cleb, where are we supposed to go get our queso from now on?
Yep.
Maybe they make it in here. Let me get that. Knock them hooves off this son bitch. I'm gonna watch
They
these New
done
Mexicans
messed
get
up.
deported. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. Yeah,
They done. Hey man.
the world
They,
is the world is a fucking scary place, man.
yep. It
That's all I can
is.
say. I don't know what the fuck's going on with anybody anymore.
You know,
I don't know.
I put it like this. I know a lot of people. I respect you if you say yes, I voted for him,
Yeah,
and you give me legit reason why you voted for him, and you
yeah,
don't argue it. You don't, and you just like you keep to yourself about it. Like
yeah.
I respect politics shouldn't be discussed, shouldn't be thrown on social media platforms the way people do, the disrespect of everything, and I get it. And don't get me wrong, I'm a firm believer that yes, we need to tighten the borders and all that stuff, but don't make everybody out to be a criminal that comes across the border.
Right.
This country was founded on people who were trying to better their lives and because they were being persecuted.
Mm-hmm.
Study history.
Exactly.
Study the history of this country. Because in actuality, what you don't realize is when you hit a certain part of, say, the Mississippi, the the west side of it was all Mexico at one point.
Hmm.
So you crossed our border. I'll leave it at that.
We borrowed a little land from the Indians while we were at it. Oh wait, did somebody say that?
But man,
I guess my thing is just like like I said, I'm the same way. I still a lot of people I truly respect, voted for him, and that's fine. Do you? We don't have that conversation.
fine.
You
Yeah.
mean you're a good
We
dude?
don't need to have
You're
the
a good
conversation.
yeah. You're a good guy. You're a good lady. You're good to your kids. You're good to people. You're kind. You're respectful. You do everything. That's cool with me. Whatever.
But there's a lot of fucking around and finding out.
Yeah, and then there's also like at the same time, then there's on both sides. Don't get me wrong. Like I said,
Yeah.
but if you're gonna preach like everybody's this way and stuff, like don't turn a fucking blind eye to the skin color that you have either. They're fucking Jimmy Joe Bob,
Mm-hmm.
because your methed out cousins in Independence or Arkansas or
Yeah.
all over the United States that are doing methamphetamines, which is not exactly a dark person or many colored person, any kind you want to call it. You can get the whole fucking rainbow in there. Don't think meth's really what they're pumping into them. That's a. I mean, we won't get into that, but
Anyway.
there's enough of our own problems to quit pointing the blame at every other motherfucker besides ourselves. But hey, that's what
But
we do, right?
it's easy to point fingers and blame
Exactly.
others.
That's
And
what we
that's what
do. Accountability is hard.
well, man, I know one of the things we enjoy doing is our hats.
Yeah. I
And
finally bought a new hat. It's coming. I can't
yeah,
keep up with you. You're doing a fucking phenomenal job, but I've got a few in the pipeline finally. It's been a
well,
long time.
I'm sure you see it. And
That's a
I've
good
always
looking
said
hat.
I would never rock an NY hat.
Yeah, but that one's okay.
This one is a little different.
Yep.
I will do this one because it was part of that Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The and it's the New York Giants
Yep. I was getting ready to say
1933 World Series side patch,
that's awesome.
and this was probably one of my grails
Mm-hmm.
that I've seen and finally got my hands on,
That's it.
and it's probably you will never still to this day see me in a Yankees hat.
No, I get it. I get it. No, me neither. I have, I got the Modesto Azon hat. This one's just because it's classic.
Yeah,
I just love it. But I actually have like one of my grill hats. Believe it or not, is on the way. It should be here Saturday. So I don't know if you've ever seen a Traverse City Pit Spinners hat, but I have wanted a Traverse City Pit Spinners hat forever. Independent Baseball League. They're
yeah,
they're not from like our independent baseball league, but they're in an
yeah,
independent baseball league, and a pit spinner, obviously the cherries.
yep,
So we got dueling cherries, and they had new era ones on the pit spinner site. So I could have
yeah,
got them or the game brand, which I love me the game brand too because of college and since
yeah,
back in the day. But I finally got the green light from the old lady to get me a Traverse City Pit Spinners hat. So
yeah.
fucking, you didn't have to tell me twice.
Well, and now that we're getting back into the baseball scene, I was trying, and every time I keep missing out on a couple because now they're starting to release some NHL hats
Oh yeah,
in the new era fitteds.
yep.
And every time I go to grab one, the ones I want, they've been sold out.
I have
So,
tried 3 different times to get the same Vegas Golden Knights fucking hat and haven't got it yet.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Then the Mighty Ducks hat.
Mighty Ducks, uh, the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yep. I'm
I've seen some, but I want the red one.
I'm absolutely obsessed right now with the training, like the new era spring training
Yeah.
caps. I'm
Mm-hmm.
absolutely obsessed with the like opposite, like off color gray and black Atlanta Brave ones. Like I'll own that. I had it in the cart. Like you know how it is. You know exactly how it is. Like the cart starts adding up, and like I got pissed because
I'm sure you like me when I say this. I'm the same way, and they always give you the you get the email with the get the discount
and then you
right
go.
at payday.
Yep,
It's
and then
like
you
get
go.
those
Yep, and that's when you
that,
go.
that
That 20%
it,
off and free shipping, and you're in.
dang it, buy one get one. Oh
I lost my shit the other day. Like this is about probably been a few weeks ago, but you know how the other day is when you're a hillbilly. So I had the last year's Padre guy, the
yeah,
Padre on the light colored spring training hats
yeah,
when New Era had them all marked down.
yeah.
And of course they had my size and it was in my cart, and then I went back to my cart and it was gone
And it was
because
gone.
I was
I've done
so
that.
fucking pissed.
I've
I
done
was
that
in
too.
I was in my feels pretty hard about that one. I'm like, ah, but
Well, we're back at it.
yes,
Let's 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 get back to. I know we're both busy.
yep.
Uh, next episode we're going to pin down Joe Miller. Get him on. He's dying to come back on. He's ready to talk about hats, everything else. I'm sure he's got some insight on he thought of the Super Bowl, the halftime show, and probably everything else going on in the world. Uh,
The
you
Scotty
know,
Collins wants to come on and talk about the state of the game and the youth baseball game, which I feel
let's do
like
it.
all of us can get into that conversation pretty good. And Scotty's been a hitting instructor now for a few years and has some pretty talented kids from up this way going to him. So Scott's, Scotty will talk and never quit talking, which is what I love about him. So
Yeah.
Scotty will definitely give us some no sugar coated insight for real, which would be good because I when he hit me up about it and he already had like pretty much what he wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So when he hit me up with that, I'm like, this is a boy that has Scott wants to get some shit off his chest, and if we can be the platform that Scotty Collins gets shit off his chest on, I am
Let's
down
do it.
for that.
Let's do it.
And then hopefully Miss fucking Jessica Tolbert, the
We'll
Lost
do
Child,
round two.
yeah, the Tolbert Files.
We will label that as the hidden. You know how it. Years later
Yep.
in music careers, and they have that one. Take that album that wasn't released.
Yep. The unreleased. Yep. The unreleased
Released
tracks.
yet?
It'll be the Tolbert tracks.
Yeah, whatever happened to that album? If not, we will get Miss Tolbert back on.
Yeah,
We won't
we'll
talk
just bring
about
her
the
back on, do it again.
We'll just
Nobody
get her
say
come
nothing about no bats. Go Marucci. What? Oh, what? I don't know what that is.
But man, as always, starting off 2025. It's been an interesting year already. We're gonna rock and roll, keep this show going. Working on year 2 now.
Year 2.
We've hit the 1 year anniversary.
We have. Oh, it's a live sighting.
Need to roll over. Roll up. Get some other. Get Big Tyrone Davis on here.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Man, we get like I'm all for. Hubbard. I know Hubbard always wants to come back on with us and just talk shop. Hubbard's always entertaining. We could, like I said, I'd love to get my butt.
I'll be honest with you, man. I need to do a beard episode because.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting going thicker, but I just need to know the products.
Oh, we can do that. We can definitely do that.
I need to know the products.
I'd love to get T-Raj on here and talk about mental health too. Like, I think that would be, that, and I think Travis is someone that we could dive in pretty good and like, he'd probably get a little emotional, but I think Travis will be able to kind of let us shed a little bit more light on it for somebody else that's like you and me and a lot of guys we know that have gone through it and like, continues to go through it and is a fucking warrior for sure. So,
but other than that, man, fun. Be on the lookout for us again soon.
Yes, we will be back.
Yep.